Hi everyone, welcome to Babies with Knives. This is Crash Course Corner where we're going to teach you the basics of how to play a game system. I'm Alice Peng, aka Lala Twiddle on the boards.
And I'm Brandon Powers. Today is part 2 of our series on capers, where we will teach you about characters. In part 1, we discussed the basic mechanics of capers, and there's a link to that video below.
In the setting of capers, there are three types of characters, whether PC or NPC. The regulars are going to be the masses of the world. These people have a life and they're mundane individuals who are concerned with the day-to-day living, paying their taxes, and going about their day jobs instead of the heroic adventures that capers characters will be involved in. These people are completely human without any extraordinary capabilities.
Exceptionals are people who are a step above regulars. They do not have any superpowers, but do gain special talents called perks that give them an edge. Last, there are capers. These people possess superpowers unexplainable to current day science and until recently beyond the capabilities of humans.
Capers is a game about cops and robbers, and the player should develop a concept that fits them into that world. In addition to the person that they are in the 1920s, characters have three anchors that define how they act, what they want, and what their soft spot is. These anchors can be generated randomly with card pulls or chosen from a list.
The first anchor is the character's identity. This is the aspect that is core to the character and guides how they act in a variety of situations. Example identities are like autocrat, leader, and glory hound.
A character's virtue is a character's moral center, something that they will not betray. This might be that they have a pacifistic nature, treating others with compassion, or maybe they have a best friend that they'll defend to the end.
Last is your character's vice. Well, the virtue speaks to their higher nature. This deals with the character's basest impulses. Character vices include alcoholism, gambling, and compulsive use of paid companions, along with several other choices.
When a character follows their anchors, they are able to earn bonus Moxie. Capers breaks the capability of characters down into 6 traits.
Charisma is the skill of social interaction used to inspire people, act with etiquette, lie to the kappas, and trick the rubes.
Agility is your ability to master hand-eye coordination, gross motor control, and bodily movement. It is used for acrobatic tricks, 3-card Monty, and dealing from the bottom of the deck.
Perception handles a character's 5 senses, as well as their ability to interpret quantifiable data and come up with their own conclusions, which is useful when sizing up opponents, trying to figure out what is motivating someone, and the best place to put pressure on a canary to make 'em sing.
Expertise handles brain power, memory, and logic. This is used to check if a character knows things, but it's also the ability to solve riddles, build and fix things, and potentially disable nasty traps or crack safes.
Resilience is what separates Glassjaw Joe from Palooka Polly. Resisting injury, withstanding pain, staying in good health, and keeping your wits about you while being tortured are all part of resilience.
Strength is a character's physical might, often used when the force of a blow factors into the damage that it does, and also useful for a lot of athletic activities like climbing, running, and jumping.
In addition to the basis of checks, traits act as a character's defense in a variety of situations. Each trait has an associated trait defense starting at 8 for a value of 1, reaching 10 for human maximum with a trait of 3, and Queen for those that have hit superpowered high on that trait. These 6 defenses act as the target score, or TS, when a character tries to affect another character with their action.
Starting characters have 1 poor trait at 1, 4 capable traits at 2, and 1 exceptional trait at 3. Capers uses a list of 18 skills to cover most actions that a character can perform, ranging from acrobatics to diplomacy, sleight of hand, and willpower. These are intentionally broad in their area of expertise. For example, conveyances allows characters to drive and pilot most types of vehicles, including planes, trains, and automobiles.
Skills are not innately tied with any trait. The application of the skill will inform the GM of which trait it would be using. For example, a character attempting to climb would use strength and athletics, but if trying to remember the names of famous baseball players would be expertise in athletics, and when judging someone's capability in basketball would use perception and athletics.
Starting characters will gain a number of skills equal to their expertise plus 2. Both NPCs and player characters have a temporary resource called Moxie that represents their capability for extra effort and determination that they can apply to certain tasks.
Characters can spend a Moxie to draw an extra card during a check, reduce damage taken, gain boons, step into the path of danger, reshuffle their deck, or introduce a new aspect to the narrative of the game. Characters can also reduce their Moxie by 2 to take an additional trait action during their turn.
One final use for Moxie is that they can be used during a trait check to return to a card that was previously flipped during the check. This allows a player who stopped on a bad card to return to a better card that they previously passed over.
This trick is not infallible. If a bad joker is flipped, the player's turn immediately ends, and they are unable to protect themselves from that effect through Moxie.
Perks and powers allow characters to do more than regulars. Exceptionals are able to take perks, and capers take powers. Powers can allow characters to do inexplicable things like fly, turn into gas, change their shape, or even raise a character's traits to as high as 5.
Powers are broken up into major and minor powers. When a character gains a power, they choose 3 boosts to modify the power in addition to the standard effect of the power. These boosts provide new and interesting ways for the character to apply their power.
When a character uses a boost to either modify or replace the standard power, they reduce the number of cards that they draw for the round by 1. This penalty is cumulative, so the more boosts that you are using, the fewer cards are being drawn for the checks.
Some powers have multiple ranks. The higher the rank makes the power more effective or provides new ways that the power can be used. Either way, the higher ranks and powers provide for more boosts with that power.
Starting capers can take 1 major power, 2 minor powers, or 1 level 2 power in a minor power.
Perks provide small bonuses that are mundane in origin, like increased movement, extra hits, or becoming a specialist with a skill. Exceptionals can select up to 2 perks during character creation.
Trem Gear are a variety of pieces of equipment mimicking the powers of capers.
A clown with a flower that shoots acid would be Trem Gear, just like a gun that fires off blasts of fire or ice.
Using Trem Gear allows regulars and exceptionals to use certain superpowers, while a caper could augment their personal arsenal with Trem Gear equipment.
During character creation, exceptionals are able to select Trem Gear.
Caper's characters have a few characteristics that are determined by their choices elsewhere.
Body is how hard it is for a character to be hit. Body is equal to agility defense, but can be modified beyond that by powers.
Mind represents how difficult it is to affect their thoughts and feelings. Mind is based off of perception defense and can be modified beyond that.
Hits are a resource that determines how long a character can stand up to a beating. Characters gain hits equal to double their resilience and charisma scores, plus 4. When characters take damage, their current hits are reduced.
Character speed determines how fast they can move in a round, and characters begin with a 30-foot move.
Characters can have up to a maximum of 5 Moxie, and they begin their first adventure with 3 Moxie.
Moxie is earned through actions that are in tune with a character's anchors, certain card draws during checks, and at the GM's discretion. That is the Caper's Crash Course for characters. This system allows players to make hard-nosed lawmen, cunning crooks, and femme fatales ready to caper around an alternate 1920s. So think up your own concept of your favorite hood, flatfoot, dick, or dame, and come back next time to get zozzled when we do Babies with Knives character creation demonstration.
Please check out the Caper System Crash Course and come back for our Caper's actual play, run by the Master Nerdburger himself, Craig Campbell. As always, thank you for watching and come back next time to get honed.